Hello everyone and welcome to UK Gaming Network, where we would normally be bringing you our top 5 games of the month. However, it's been 2 years since we started doing our charts, and we're going to do things a little differently from now on. There are simply some months where there are more than 5 games worth talking about, and we needed to take this into account. So as we look at August 2017, a month that has seen no fewer than 34 releases begging for our attention, and that's just what we've played, we present our most talked about titles of the last 31 days. We'll show them in order of release, and end with our pick for best game of the month. As well as all these new releases, there have been a few that have made a welcome return on new systems. These include the excellent Seen More at X, Pillars of Eternity finally coming to consoles, and UKGN favourites Windjammers and Patapon, which we still play on original hardware, but it's good to see them reaching a larger audience. For our game of the month, only brand new games are in contention. Early access will not feature. The video structure may have changed, but our opinions haven't. Multiplayer games can be a lot of fun, but when your opponent is sat on the sofa next to you, they're even better. Nidhogg 2's developers know this, and the game expands on its excellent predecessor in every way possible, but it also brings with it a very high probability of real-life joypad-related violence. Visually, the 8-bit look has been replaced with a very appealing 16-bit one, and with the introduction of more weapons to master, there's even greater depth to the gameplay. Each match is fast and frantic, and it's not uncommon for a single fight to last well over 20 minutes, with the upper hand switching between players many times over. Expect to punch the air in victory with every success, and demand a rematch with every defeat. There have been many ups and downs in Sonic the Hedgehog franchise over the last 25 years, probably more downs than ups too, but thankfully Sonic Mania is most definitely an up. This manages the tricky balance of paying homage to the original games while still remaining fun and fresh. It's an audio and visual treat too, replicating the style of the Mega Drive originals, and there are dozens of Easter eggs for the long-time fan. Level design is excellent, and the way it reused some layouts from the original game was inspired. Some later levels do become overly complex and silly, just like previous games in the series, but that doesn't stop this from being one of the best Sonic games ever made. The Escapist 2 honestly isn't that different to the first game, but what it adds, namely the co-op multiplayer, massively improves an already enjoyable title. Being able to roam the corridors of each prison with your mates is fantastic fun, as you formulate escape plans together and see them succeed or fail. The joy is in the trial and error gameplay, where you're afforded the freedom to try new approaches with each new game. The prisons themselves are much better now too, with many unique themed locations such as the Wild West, remote islands or military bases to escape from. There's even one set in space, so you could recreate the film Fortress 2 if you wanted to, or Lockout if you don't want to lower your standards that much. Originally conceived as DLC for Uncharted 4, The Lost Legacy has grown into a standalone release, and the mid-range price point makes it an easy recommendation. That the gameplay is as good as it's ever been should come as no surprise, but it's testament to Naughty Dog's skill with writing great characters that you never once find yourself pining for the return of Nate and Sully. It's somewhat ironic that a series we once affectionately labelled Dude Raider now finds itself with not one but 2 female lead characters, but Chloe and Nadine make for a joyous, bickering double act in the finest Uncharted tradition, and every minute in their company is a pleasure, even if the plot itself is a little by the numbers. Rabbids are annoying, but that's kind of their reason for existing. Teaming them up with Nintendo's crown jewels may seem like mockery on paper, but somehow Ubisoft have managed to turn it into another strong reason to own the Switch. We can think of no higher praise to Ubisoft than the fact that it looks, sounds and feels exactly like it was developed by Nintendo themselves, and Rabbid Peach is a truly awesome character. Once you get past the idea of Mario holding a gun, you'll discover an excellent tactical turn-based strategy game that's made incredibly accessible by setting it within the Mushroom Kingdom. However, don't be fooled by the appearance. This is not just a game for kids. It quickly becomes one of the hardest games we've played for ages. You can forget God of War, forget Gran Turismo, forget even Uncharted. The Everybody's Golf series has always been my personal favourite PlayStation franchise, and the PS4 edition doesn't disappoint. There are many reasons for this. There's the utterly charming presentation for starters. Then there's the fact that it plays a more enjoyable round of golf than anything EA have ever produced, thanks to the simple to grasp, difficult to master gameplay. For the latest edition, you can now include the social and online aspects that allow you and your friends to mess around in golf buggies or go fishing between rounds. This sits happily alongside sensible soccer and track and field as one of the greatest sports games of all time. Although it's been conceived and marketed as a AA title, the simple fact is that Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice looks and plays better than the majority of AAA releases. The combat is weighty, tense and brutal, without the need for a tutorial, and exactly what you'd expect from the developers of Enslaved and DMC. The dark story is told effectively through the voices in Senua's head, acting as a guide for the player without ever feeling like it's holding your hand, and it features an astonishing central performance by Melina Juergens. If she's not at least nominated at next year's Golden Joysticks, there's no justice. The game's depiction of psychosis, or the darkness as the game calls it, makes it stand out from the crowd, and there aren't many games that can boast a mental health consultant in the credits. Then there's a much talked about inclusion of a permadeath, where your save game apparently wipes if you die too often. We're not sure if this is true or not, as we certainly never triggered it, but it keeps you on edge and fits the theme of the game perfectly. That concludes the list of our favourite games of August 2017. We hope you enjoyed it. Did we include your favourites? Why not tell us what you think in the comments, and we'll be back next month for more of the same. Like and subscribe for more great videos from UK Gaming Network. Thanks for watching.